Exploring thought, provoking ideas with paint on canvas and wood, dropping landscapes and ornate portraits, talented artists imagine these images and bring them to life with careful brushstrokes.
And the talent that we're featuring today has been generations in the making. We are here with father-son duo Kevin and Evan Fitzgerald, who are both artists. Guys, thank you so much for being here to talk to us.
Absolutely.
So, Kevin, let me ask, how did you get started in painting and art?
I was just the kid in school that didn't do math too well, and I could draw a little bit. So,
yeah,
you know, by the time you're 8 or 9 years old, the kids in the class, you know, say, "Well, that's the guy that can draw. Or that's the person that does this," and you know, I can't.
By 8 or 9.
Well, you know, the other students will say, "I can't draw a straight line." They become self-conscious, and if you stay like a little kid and just enjoy making the marks and don't worry about what others are thinking,
right?
You can start to make progress, but it's a long time. But
And
most people stop at 7 or 8 years old because they become
But yours developed into a passion.
Yeah, well, my grandfather was a painter, and he worked for the government, but he's in the show. His work is featured there, and he was a force in the family for that. During the Depression, we all came back to live with him at some point. Our families did. He was the guy that had a job.
Yeah.
The government. He was a map maker for the government. But he'd gone to Maryland Institute, and Evan and I both went to the same school. So I thought there seemed to be a tradition or a legacy, and Evan and I even had some of the same teachers.
Yeah.
After 30 years apart.
How about that?
And
Now, I will say, being in the classroom as a teacher, those kids, you see them.
You see those kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're incredible artists at a very young age, and I love that you continued on. And Evan, I'm thinking you probably saw Dad, noticed that talent right away, and did you want to follow suit?
Certainly. He was always supportive, which was helpful, and I was always kind of doodling in the margins in school, and started copying comic strips one day, and I did see him painting a sign for a local business when I was younger in the garage, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And so it's just something I've always done.
So you mentioned the show. Tell us about your collaborations and your show.
well, the Art League of Ocean City is run by Rena Thaler, and they are just a pillar of the community there. Anyway, she posed this idea, because we've both shown there before over the years, and we were both like, I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea, you know. I was
right,
but just because it's so different, but in a way the work is similar, because we're dealing with how humans interact with the world, you know, and how we progress through our thoughts and ideas. So with Evan, he's doing this idea of adornment, and that we do it to change the way our personalities or our persona. For me, it's like if you were looking at a landscape for the first time, you woke up from a nap or something, and you see the world for that instant, and you don't really relate it to all your thoughts and ideas. You just see the image.
See what's
so
there.
how an early humans would have seen the world, and that with fresh eyes.
So that's the inspiration. Looking at the people and the world, and that's where you draw your inspiration from? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and then trying to combine them was.
Yeah, we've been in the same space for years, working together and having lunch and commenting on what our progress and critiquing one another, and our stuff has just been laying around and sitting next to each other for the past 10, 15 years. And then I had a show last year at the Art League again, which has been very supportive of me, and we thought, well, what if you guys show together? We're like, I don't know, but then just looking at our stuff together on the wall, we said, well, it would be interesting if we combined our stuff, because he paints landscapes, mainly backgrounds, and I'm always focused on the foreground. Why not marry the two and see what it looks like together? And there were some challenges, because we both have different approaches. We got 2 successes, I think. There's several that are still sitting on the floor in the studio, didn't make the cut, but yeah.
We raised our voices a few times, back and forth.
No,
I'd work on it, hand him the painting, and he'd hand it back to me, and why did you do that?
What'd you do? No.
Now, I'm just a little curious, like, how long does a painting like that take from conception to the finished product?
For me, it's different every time. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you enter the zone or like a flow state, and it can just take maybe sometimes half a day or 2 days, and then other times something that looks like the same amount of work for me could take weeks, and it just, for some reason, it just doesn't look right until maybe a month to come back and say, oh, that's where the problem is. Yeah.
You have to wait.
So remind us again where and when for the
It's
show.
at the Ocean City Center for the Arts, which is the Art League on 94th Street in Ocean City. And that team that works there is just fantastic. They have a great presentation. Our work has never looked better together, and they've just done a really great job and very friendly. I think they're, do you want me to tell you when they're open?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Is it 11 to 5, 11 to 4 week every day?
Okay.
And the show runs through the end of the month. I think maybe the 24th, but maybe till the end of the month
Okay.
of August. That's not too specific, is it?
That's
Pretty good.
I say more specific, the better.
that's the artistic version
Yeah.
of it.
Yes, kind of like.
It's a fascinating collaboration.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling us about it. Kevin, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Appreciate it.